Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. My name is Sandra, and on this channel we talk about all things inner work, healing fearful avoidant attachments, and healing out of survival mode. And for today's video, I want to talk about the expectations that you place on your body, and almost in this demanding way, but not actually doing the thing that your body is asking you for, not giving your body your needs, and why this is actually a thing. Like, why is it so hard for you to give your body what it needs? Why is it hard for you to even know what your body needs? So for me, when I first learned about what needs are, like, to be honest, I didn't even know what needs were. I had always heard people talk on social media about, or on YouTube here, where they were like, you need to give yourself your needs first. I'm like, what are my needs? What are needs? Like, I didn't even know what needs were. And this is such a huge part of healing fearful avoidant attachment, is understanding your needs and giving that to yourself. And to understand your own needs, you need to actually understand what needs are to begin with. So for me, when people would say, give yourself what you need, I'm like, I don't even know what needs are. So I'm going to break that down a little bit in this video, talk a little bit about why you struggle to give yourself your needs and how this connects to your caregiver, to your parent, and the relationship that you had with them. So what needs are just things that your body may be asking for, your mind may be asking for. Like, when, let's talk about like your most basic needs. So some of the most basic needs you have as a human being, we all have them, is when you're thirsty, you drink water. So your need is water. You need water. Or when you are hungry, you need food. Or when you are tired, you need sleep. So those are some of the most basic needs, which for me, when I was learning about needs, I'm like, really? Like, I never thought of that as something that I would give to myself. It almost felt like it's just something you do naturally. But this also happens and is necessary in other areas of life. So you don't only have these basic needs, you also have emotional needs, you also have mental needs, you also have spiritual needs. So sometimes when you're feeling like your brain is foggy, what your body's asking you to do is not to consume more things on social media, not to sit there and keep scrolling. It is actually asking you to clear some space, because you already have so much going on internally in your head. And when you're feeling overwhelmed, it's asking you, please take the time to declutter my mind. Please take the time to just sit down in silence. And a lot of the time we can ignore our body's needs. And when you're in survival mode, when you're in this fight or flight, it is going to be mostly focused on your most basic needs, and your emotional, spiritual needs are not going to really be at the forefront of your mind, not going to be the priority for you. And so the things that you want to start giving yourself are the most basic things, which are your survival based needs, like drinking water when you feel thirsty instead of ignoring it, like eating food when you feel hungry instead of saying, oh, I'll do that later, like stretching your body when you feel like you are getting a little bit tense, maybe you've been sitting for too long. And a lot of people can kind of dismiss these things because they seem small. But when you dismiss the small needs that you have on this basic level, then that puts you more into survival mode. When you're in survival mode, it makes healing this attachment style even harder, because you're kind of just like in this fight or flight energy. When you're in survival mode, that impacts every area of your life. It makes it harder to connect with your partner. It makes it hard to have that moment of connection, especially if you're still in the process of healing this attachment style into a more secure one. It makes it harder to be able to be conscious in the moment, to shift those patterns that are coming up. When you're in survival mode, you're more likely going to just react out of the past wounding, react out of the old patterns that you have carried, that have come from your childhood, and they're not really going to be coming from a place that is conscious. They're not going to be coming from a place of, okay, this is now how I want to choose to show up. This is now how I'm choosing to show up in the world in a more secure way. And this is now how I'm going to respond to my partner. This is now how I'm going to sit in that painful emotion and sit in that moment of connection that feels so uncomfortable, but I'm going to sit here anyways instead of run away from it, instead of fight it. And so when you're in survival mode, because you're not giving yourself your most basic needs, and yet you have this expectation on your body to pretty much perform like a well-oiled machine. This is what I noticed for myself. It's like I would want my body to show up in this perfect way, which is a wound also of the fearful avoidance. Is like you want things to be perfect in your relationship, in your body, in your career, in your money, in whatever way. You want everything to be perfect, and you want your body to show up in this like really ideal way. And then when your body sends you a signal asking for something, like when your body is sending you the signal for thirst, for hunger, for sitting down in silence, to declutter your mind, to stretch your body, these are all signals that your body is sending you, asking you, this is what I need right now. Please do this so that I can relax, so that I can go back into the parasympathetic. So your body is constantly sending you these signals, but maybe you're not aware of them because you've dissociated, or maybe you're overriding them and ignoring them altogether because you think it's an inconvenience. It's almost like you treat your body as if it's a burden, but you still expect it to show up in this way. And then you judge your body, you judge yourself for not showing up in this way. And you're demanding all of these things from your body, but you're not actually doing the things that your body's asking you for. And I'm curious to know if you guys have experienced this too, because I feel like with most people with an insecure attachment who have gone through trauma, this is such a core wound for them that they don't know how to give themselves what they actually need. And this is because in childhood, the reason insecure attachment forms in the first place is due to the parent not being able to meet their child's needs. And something that I learned in my training with nervous system work is that with attachment, your caregiver only has to attune to you and get things right and really just be there for you when you cry, hold you 40% of the time. The reason that you struggle to give yourself these needs that seem so simple and so basic, and maybe you're not even aware of what your needs are or how to meet them, or you see your body as a burden, is most likely because your parents struggle to give you your own needs. Something that most insecure attachment styles struggle with are boundaries and needs. These are like some of the most basic things that they struggle with because they didn't have that in their childhood. A lot of the time, the relationships were just enmeshed. You weren't allowed to have your own boundaries. And sometimes when you ask for your own needs, they weren't really met. And maybe this is not even something you ask for verbally, but even as a baby, when you cried, maybe your parent didn't go to pick you up. Maybe when you cried, you were asking for something, your body needed something, and your mom or your dad, they were just busy doing something else, and they didn't go pick you up and kind of just make you feel safe and secure. And this is not even on purpose. Like, there is so much that goes into this that I can't even go into this video because it's too long. There's so many things that impact this, such as your parents' attachment style, such as their, let's say, relationship status. If they had to take care of you and they were a single parent and they had to provide and also nurture you, they were doing the masculine and the feminine part of this, and it may have been too much for them to do all on their own. There are so many things that could have contributed to why they weren't able to take care of you and attune to you and really show up for your needs and be there for you most of the time. There are so many things that go into this. So you guys know on this channel that I always say it's not about blaming. I'm giving you this information to inform you. So we're here to learn just about how these attachment styles have formed, how they have left certain patterns, and how certain patterns unfold because of those things. But it's not coming from a place of blame. Your parents did the best that they could with what they had, with what they were given, with the cards that they were dealt, and so have you this far. You're always doing the best that you can. And the main point I want to make in this video is I don't want you to feel like your needs are a burden. And a lot of the time in my childhood, I came to the realization that I was almost treated, because I was raised by a single parent, I always felt like I was a burden. And it almost felt like if I wasn't there, then the burden would have been lightened from my parent. And that is not a good feeling to have as a child. And I realized that there was this almost reflection of this relationship that I had with my parent now with my body. I was treating my body in the same way as a burden. And when my body would send me these signals telling me like, I need this, I need that, like I did with my parent, asking for certain needs that I had, my response was the same that I got back from my parent. It was to shut it down, maybe dismiss it, ignore it, let it just have a temper tantrum and then just ignore it, instead of sit there with it and acknowledge it and say, oh, well, what do you need? What can I do for you? How can I show up for you? What can I give you? And when I realized this, I was like, oh my gosh, like I've just been treating my body like it's a burden, like it's a chore, like it's something that I just have to get out of the way. And I want to know in the comments if this is something that you've experienced too. I've never heard anybody talk about this. It's just something that I've experienced in my own personal life. And I'm curious to know if this is something that you've experienced as well. And I want you to know that as you heal this attachment style and as you release certain things from your body, stuck emotions, trauma, what your body is saying to you becomes more clear. And oftentimes when you're stuck in survival mode, you may experience these random pains in your body. You're like really, especially if you're hyper vigilant and you're really paying attention to everything that is going on in your body, and you're noticing, oh, I have like some pain here, I have some tingling here, I have some tightness here, and you're constantly aware of all these things, you are sending the signal back to your body that I am not okay because I am experiencing pain. I am not okay because I am experiencing all of these uncomfortable sensations. And so your body goes more into survival mode. And I've seen before with people where there will be nothing wrong with them physically. Sometimes there is nothing wrong on tests, like maybe you have experienced this for yourself, or you feel like, oh my God, I feel like there's something wrong with me. There is these things that I feel in my body, this tension, constant tension, this tingling, this pain, whatever it is, and you think, oh, like there's something wrong with my body. And it's mostly because you're so super hyper vigilant and you're noticing everything, and the more you focus on it, the more you feel it. And then when you go to the doctor and you get tests done and nothing comes up, like I'm talking about this because this is what I've experienced. I've experienced these things in my body, and then when I go get tested, there's nothing wrong. But it was because I was in this really high survival mode, and I was super hyper vigilant and aware of everything that's going on in my body. And the more I focused on it, the more I noticed it and the more intense it became. And it was like this thing that I kept focusing on, and the more I would focus on it, the more I would notice it and the more it would intensify. So I want you to really be able to distinguish between the two. When your body is sending you the signal between, let's say, oh, I need to stretch. Like right now, I literally just need to stretch. And then when it is sending you the signal of like, oh, alarm, something is going off, like something is wrong in your body. Maybe what you need in that moment when you're super hyper vigilant and you're noticing all these different sensations in your body and you are struggling to sit with them is a nervous system regulation tool. This is something that I work with my clients one-on-one with in my coaching container. Because when you're in survival mode, your body doesn't really know the difference between what is real and what is not, what is a threat and what is not. And so sometimes it sees these uncomfortable emotions that you feel, these uncomfortable sensations, this pain in your body, and it's like, oh my gosh, we are in danger, go into survival mode. But that's not really what you needed in the moment. In fact, you needed to regulate your nervous system and come back into your body and sit with what you are feeling and allow that to be released from your body. But so many fearful avoidants struggle with sitting with their feelings, struggle to sit with painful emotions, painful sensations. And I made a video about this that I'll link down below as well. I think it was called Why You Resist Feeling Your Feelings. If you want to check that out, I go more deeply into this, why feels so hard to sit with your feelings, why it feels so difficult to sit with your sensations, discomfort, sit with connection when you are trying to be intimate with your partner, why those things can be uncomfortable. And you may do the same thing now with your body as well. When you feel uncomfortable sensations, when you feel like your body's asking you to drink water, you're thirsty and you're hungry, and you see it as a burden, and you see it as this thing to be fixed, which a lot of the time is what you tend to go towards, because you have this deep core wound of perfectionism. This is something that I'm still working on, of healing perfectionism. Because you feel like you have to be perfect, and at the same time you have another deep core wound of believing that you are broken or that you are a bad person. Those two things conflict with each other. You feel like you can never actually truly be happy. You feel like you cannot truly relax in the moment and just be in your body. And you're always running from one thing to the next, and you're thinking, I need to fix this. And when you feel something in your body that feels uncomfortable, whether it's you feeling thirsty or whether it's an emotion that's coming up that feels really painful, or it's just a painful sensation in your body, your immediate thought is, I need to fix this. I need to shove this aside. I need to fix it. I need to do something about it. But you don't sit with it. Your immediate thought is, I need to get rid of this thing, but I'm not going to sit with it because it's uncomfortable. And regulating your nervous system is what helps you sit with that discomfort for it to be released. When you resist something, it only keeps it going longer. And I talk about this in that video that I mentioned, which I'll link down below. But when you resist whatever is going on, you're like, oh, I'm not thirsty, I'm not hungry, I don't need to stretch, I don't need to get up and move around, I don't need to go for a walk, I don't need to sit down and feel this uncomfortable emotion. You're literally running away from your life. You're literally running away from your body. You're dissociating. Regulating your nervous system will help you come back into your body so that you can remove these things, and so you can feel more grounded and you're able to make more conscious choices. You're able to show up in the way that you want to show up, instead of allowing old past wounds to keep resurfacing and acting from that place. And showing up in your relationships based on past patterns. And this is the deep inner work that I help you do inside my coaching container. And if this is something that's been on your heart and you've been feeling like, I am so ready to go to that next level, I'm so ready to release all of this, I'm so tired of treating my body like a burden, treating my emotions like a burden, of being in survival mode. If this is how you've been feeling and you feel called to do this, I'm inviting you into one-on-one coaching with me, which is more like a mentorship, because this is all things that I have gone through myself. And I just want you to have the most happy, abundant, and relaxed life that you can have. Because I know what it feels like to be so on edge, to constantly have so many anxious thoughts, intrusive thoughts, to keep treating yourself like you're a problem that needs to be fixed, to keep feeling like you're just so tense all of the time and you just want to let go, like you feel so tight and you're in this little box and you don't know how to feel free. Like you just want to feel free and you want to open up and you want to share and you want to be vulnerable, but you have all these ideas and all these things blocking you. And you're telling yourself, I can't show up in that way, I can't be like this, I can't do this. That is so restricting and it feels so heavy and it feels so tense. So no wonder your body feels tense. For me, whenever I've invested in myself, in working with a coach or working with a mentor, investing in a course, I've always known what direction to go in next. And I believe that that's my subconscious, like knowing what's the next right step for me. And I don't just pick something that sounds good on paper. I don't pick something that sounds like it's going to help me, I really just feel it in my gut when I know to step into something. I have always, like, the courses that I've invested in, the mentorships that I've invested in, I have felt such a deep need for it in my gut. And it was exactly when I enter that container, it was exactly what I needed. It's like God is sending me these messages of like, this is your next step. This is the direction you need to go into next. This is the next level up for you. This is the next healing phase for you. This is the next place that you need to be activated, to heal, to release stuck emotions. So if anything that I've said in my videos, as I'm saying it and you're like, this is the next step for me, this is what I need to do next, follow that. And if it is not, that is totally okay. Feel free to watch all of the rest of my videos. But I want you to really start to trust your intuition a little bit more. I know that can be a little bit harder to trust when you feel like your intuition has let you down. And I've actually made a video about this. My last video is about that as well. I'll link that down below. But there is a reason that you feel like you can't trust your intuition, you can't trust yourself, and it is also because of trauma. So if you want to learn more about that, it's in my last video. I'll leave the link down below. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, I'll leave the link to that down below as well. I really want to hear what your thoughts are, what you got out of this video. What are the things that resonated with you? What are the questions that came up? I want to hear all of it down below, and I'll see you in the next video or in my coaching container. Bye.